Hey, welcome to another episode of Three Conservative Gimps, where we give you important information for you to make a good choice at the ballot box. I would like to think that we give you information not just on local politics, national politics, but world politics. So tonight we're going to be talking about former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte, who was arrested yesterday at the Manila airport and deported to the Netherlands to face trial for crimes against humanity at The Hague. So we'll be talking about that and how some of some of the fallout could have ramifications to other politicians. So let's get it started. Let's welcome my friend all the way from Muskogee, Oklahoma, the guy with the bright shirts and the big beard. It's Lloyd Mendenhall. Welcome, welcome.
Hello, everybody. Hello in the chat. How you doing, Art?
I'm doing pretty good. A little more. I feel like I need bigger headphones because my knowledge, my cranium is so full of
Crap.
knowledge.
Oh,
That too, that too. It's you assume people know shit, and it's like, oh, wait a
but
minute,
yeah, we're
they.
gonna have that. We'll have that discussion when you bring our next
All right,
gimp
let's
in.
do that all the way from the blue state of New York, where hopefully it's warmer. It's Charles Gillespie. Welcome, welcome.
Hey Art, hey Lloyd, everybody in the chat.
How you doing,
Howdy,
Charles?
howdy.
Good, how are you?
I can't complain. Nobody listens anyway, so I just don't. Uh, so
Yeah, let's get this rolling. I like to think of myself as a well-rounded person. I follow things, and of course, my girlfriend is from the Philippines. I have several friends in the Philippines, and this is kind of a an interesting topic about their former president being arrested for crimes against humanity. To give you a little bit of background on Duterte, he's also the former mayor of Davao City, which is on the other big island that's at the southern end of the Philippines, and it's the second largest city in the Philippines. While he was mayor, they had a very bad drug and crime problem. And so the charges against him are uh, because some of these drug lords and drug dealers and a few users were executed. So they're trying to pin it all on him by saying, well, he's the one that got these vigilantes to do all his dirty work. So that's what's called extrajudicial killings. That's where he's outside the law using vigilante groups. Now, it'll be interesting to see, you know, all the facts and the proof behind this to see where it goes. If he's guilty, he's guilty. If he's not, that's the way it is. But I like to see what is in the evidence, so to speak, that puts him to where they said he's the one directing these people. For all we know, you guys have watched the movies Death Wish with Charles Bronson, where you
yep,
had
yep.
you know a person or persons just fed up with out of control crime where you have corrupt cops or not enough cops to protect the citizens. And they
Yeah.
just, you know what, we'll take the law in our own hands and
Yeah.
be done with it. That's a possibility as well. So uh, my my question is how something like this could have ramifications with other politicians or presidents. Uh, right now, we've got a president that's, you know, not really well liked around the world because of his persona and his
Right.
brashness and his way of doing things. So he's made a lot of enemies.
Well, yeah. First, going back to this guy being arrested. Well, he stepped off. He apparently was in exile, and he came
No,
back to.
he was down in Davao City.
Oh, but
It's
yet they. But when he flew into Manila is when they arrested him.
yep.
Well, why didn't they arrest him in his hometown, and
Uh,
why didn't
I,
they?
I would.
And and going and the second issue, of course, is uh you are obviously more more enthralled with the Philippines than say the
Right.
rest of us that have never been there, or
Right.
say a few of us that might have sweated our butts off in other jungles and don't care to sweat our butts off in that one.
Uh huh.
Again, that's so your perspective on this would be different, but as far as it would affect us, the only way that they could have got him out of that country is either one, he was kidnapped, or if he was arrested by the authorities in Manila, which would have been backed by, they would have had to have because they're a democratic country, they would have had to have a uh,
Hmm.
uh, an arrest warrant. They would have had to there had to be extradition
Hmm.
papers to take him there, and
Right.
so it had to have been done in concert with the government, and is
Right.
that affecting
Mhm.
us? They've already called for that. The Hague has already called, or certain groups have already called for the arrest of Donald Trump, and uh,
Hmm.
I'm trying to think who else it was, Giuliani and a few others. They've all called for their arrest, but because they're American citizens inside the United States, they're not being arrested. And most
Right.
countries that have a treaty, that have a that are an ally, they're not going to do it either.
Right.
Uh, so
Hmm.
Uh, so this is a situation where it had to have been done in concert with the Manila government. And
Right.
because the gentleman who is now the president is the son of Ferdinand and Imelda Marcos,
Right.
this was probably a retaliatory thing because this guy was the president between the two Marcoses, or was
And
president
his
one.
and his daughter was vice president with Marcos,
Oh,
and they've had a falling out as
right.
well.
So
Yeah.
this is government politics,
Yeah.
or in country politics.
Hmm.
As far as how it would affect us, I don't think it will. I think this is it could. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure if Joe Biden wanted to, he would have done that with Donald Trump. But I don't think I think he knew, and I think
He
most people
probably
know.
wouldn't know how.
Well, it
He
wouldn't
was
have mattered.
so.
He wasn't running the country anyways.
Yeah.
That he was not in charge. The people that were in charge
Yeah.
would have loved to have done something like that, but I
Yeah.
think they
And
knew that
that's
would have been the overthrow of this country.
yeah, and that is a interesting question. Why they wanted to get rid of Donald Trump so badly with all the lawfare and
Right.
everything. I
But
mean,
yet
I
they didn't have him arrested for crimes against humanity, which he'd been charged in some countries.
yeah.
There have been a few countries that have called for his arrest
Uh,
back when he was, when he was president,
right.
and yet none of these countries have issued a warrant or asked or shown evidence in which he actually committed that crime.
Right.
Whereas
Uh-huh.
this was done in concert with Manila, with the Philippines government. That's the only way, and I think
Right.
it's purely political.
Yeah.
Yes, that could happen to us. We came close to it under the Biden administration. We were very close with the lawfare that they used in this country,
Uh-huh.
but But again, like I said, this was you know you tend to you tend to focus a lot more on the Philippines than say Charles and I do,
Uh-huh.
because it's
Hmm.
just not of it's I've got quite a few acquaintances that I like to consider friends. They're married to Filipinos,
Yep. Hmm.
and that's fine. That's great. But their politics doesn't affect me,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
because I don't have any family or anybody over there. I like to uh, so so as a result, I don't pay attention. Like I said, I last time I even paid attention to uh, the Philippine government was Imelda Marcos was and all of her shoes. I mean, that's
Yeah.
how
Right.
much how much that's been on my radar, and probably a lot of the people in our audience, except for those that are already married to one, probably the rest of the audience is along that line too.
Right. Hmm.
But yeah, so anyways, that's my 2 cents on that, and that's how I think it could affect us, but I don't think it's gonna happen inside the United States. I don't think unless somebody were to be very egregiously, but if just because you don't like their policies, that's not a reason to have them arrested for, uh,
Right.
and I think we were close to it, but I think even the far left realized that those were all words. There was
Uh-huh.
no there was no bite in that because it just wasn't going to happen. I mean, that would have created the next revolution, the next
Yeah.
civil war here in
Hmm.
the United States. And I don't think anybody, I don't care how bad they are, wants that.
Right.
At least of the American patriots and American citizens, even those that are slightly to the left or over on the left, they in their own way they love this country. It's just they don't love it the way we do.
Hmm.
They want to love it the way they do. There lies the problems.
Okay. So, yep. Good points. Good points. So let's move on to our next topic. Like we were talking a little bit before the show about some friends of ours are a little concerned about the tariffs, and so uh, and how it's affecting the stock market. And also, we got it looks like the Democrats are going to shut down the government this tomorrow. Yeah, they voted against the CR, was it?
Yeah, the continuing resolution. What they voted against was the because the C what was actually on the docket was the vote against the filibuster. So
Uh,
this was the vote to override the filibuster, and they needed 9 Democrats to do that
uh,
because once they said we're not going to vote against the filibuster is considered already in progress, and they won't be able to introduce the continuing resolution to have
uh,
it voted upon.
I
'Cause
see.
it only needs a simple majority to pass.
Right.
Okay, and the Democrats don't have to vote on that. The problem is what they have to vote on is to table the filibuster. They have to override the filibuster, and they need 9 Democrats to do that.
Uh, okay. Okay. Okay.
So, and they didn't have all 9. They had probably 3 or 4 at the best.
Mm, okay.
So the whole thing was put aside to be argued out and hammered out some more before they got till I think what midnight tomorrow.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting to see how this all comes down. And uh, this thing about tariffs, it is affecting the stock market because the stock market, we've never had a president that did something like this.
Oh,
Not in my lifetime, at
not in
least.
modern history, no. When
Yeah,
we did away with
because
tariffs back when we were using tariffs up until World War One. To
right, that's
that's how
right.
there was no personal income tax. It was tariffs that
Yeah,
paid for the running of the government.
right,
And
and so yeah, the thing that
okay,
Donald
Brian.
Trump is trying to do, he's trying to level the playing field because there are a lot of countries that are not playing fair with trade because they put tariffs on our goods into their country. Why, if they want their stuff sold here, they ought to, have a level playing field. Uh, and if they
Hey, Brian.
want to sell their goods here, why not build a plant here? And that's one of the other things he's trying to do. He's using the leverage to try to sway these countries to build some of their products here to employ
This
America.
this is an odd thought that just came to me. All
Okay.
right. So he's putting tariffs on these countries that charge a high tariff for us to export into the or to export to them. Let's say, let's just say it's France. We're trying to sell Ford cars in France. Okay.
Hmm.
Well, the EU and the French government have such a high tariff that it's not profitable to do that.
Hmm.
So they go over there and build a plant. Well, now they're taking away jobs and manufacturing from the United States, but they're able to sell their Fords because now they have a plant and they don't have to pay an import fee on those or a tariff. We're doing
Right.
the same thing back at them now. It's just,
Right.
that's like the deal with Mexico. It was cheaper to manufacture in Mexico, and we had a deal, the Canadian uh, what do they call it, CAM or whatever, Canadian American and Mexico treaty that came after post NAFTA,
Ah.
and and so we had this deal that we wouldn't charge them, but companies, American companies, were taking advantage of the fact that, okay, we don't have to pay an import fee to bring in our cars from Mexico. We can manufacture them down there and then bring them in here.
Hmm.
And that's on the American companies that are doing that. They're the ones who's created some of
Right.
this imbalance themselves.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is trying to bring it back to
Right.
where and level that playing field like, okay, you
Hmm.
know, the reason our companies have had to go to other countries to manufacture is because you guys charge us such an exorbitant fee. Well, we're going to charge you the same fee, and any company of any American company that manufactures outside the United States, uh, for the cheaper labor. And of course, this all goes back to the United Auto Workers Union and all those other unions
Hmm.
creating this sort of situation. They can have you know 500 cars built a day down there for $125. Up here it's going to cost them it's going to cost them 2.5 million to make those same 500 cars because of the overhead, the wages, the electric, all of that
Yeah.
stuff, the cost of living here. Because our those industries aren't subsidized by the
Hmm.
American government. Down in some of those countries, some of the other countries, they subsidize their industries.
Right.
So uh that's the reason for the tariffs. And like you said, nobody in modern time, since at least in any of our lifetime, because I don't think there's anybody in this group that was around in World War I,
Right.
and at least I don't think
Well,
there
you
is.
might.
Well, yeah, I wasn't going to mention that. I was hoping you wouldn't either. But anyways, uh, but yeah, in modern times, we haven't had a president to do this. This is the thing that needs to be done to balance out the trade deficit between all the countries.
Hmm.
The EU has got themselves in a pickle because they've set such ridiculous uh fees and stuff for what they have to do, like uh the EU actually affects uh other countries, not just those in the European Union, but some of the Commonwealth countries as well, and they have to adhere to the EU policies, which means they got to pay a ridiculous price in order to have their stuff. I'm thinking of Australia to be for example. They have to pay, their stuff has to meet standards of the EU, even
Hmm.
though they're far removed from them, and that costs them. So, anyways, that's my two
Well,
cents worth.
well, I welcome our guests from Port St. Lucie, Florida, uh, Uncle Bill real name. Welcome, Bill.
Hi. How are you?
Hey, Bill.
I'm doing all right. I'm doing good.
Howdy, Bill.
I thought you guys were going to be talking about some Filipino ex-president.
Yeah, we did at the beginning of the show.
He's the only one that knows anything about it.
Bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rest of us.
So I actually researched it. Now you're done talking about it already.
Oh, bring up some more.
Yeah.
I don't.
I
know
never
what you
heard of
already
the
talked
guy.
about. I just got here.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. I mean, do you guys think it's legitimate? Do you
well,
think he's
that's
being
what I
railroaded?
like.
He's pretty
I would-
popular in the Philippines.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, it was apparently crimes against humanity because they were judge, jury, and executioner. Apparently, when it came to people convicted on drugs, and I guess he went too far. I don't know. For some reason, the people like him there, though. So whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, first president ever from Mindanao.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the city is, a safe city for a change.
Well, you know why we don't like him? This country doesn't like him. It's because he tried to get closer ties to Russia and China.
Right.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, he was meeting with them, trying to increase his ties with them. Of course, it bit him later. You know, when they started acting up in the South China Sea there and started
Right.
bullying the Filipino Coast Guard and stuff. So I don't have an opinion. I really don't. You
Okay.
know, if he's a bad man, then put him away.
Yeah.
He's almost 80 years old, though. So I don't. 70
Yeah.
years old. So.
To me, this is a political thing. It's a symbolic political thing because they had to
Talking about
have.
the ex-president of Philippines.
Oh no, he's good. I want all the drug dealers to die.
Did you hear that?
Oh,
Honey, come here and say that. What did you just say? Come here, tell them that.
Yeah, all the drug dealers.
Come here,
has to
come
die.
here, so they can see you. I guess not. That was a Filipina, and she says, "No, he was good. He was good. I want all the drug dealers to die."
yeah. Well, and that's it. I think this was a Marcos thing. I think it was the Marcos government because in order for him to be arrested, you know, they what do they call
Expedited.
it? Extradited. Yeah, I was going to say expedited, but extradited.
Expedited.
I said it earlier. I just forgot it. You know,
That's what
it has
FedEx
to be done.
does.
It
They
has
want
to
to
be done.
expedite the extradition.
Yes, yeah. They
There
expedited
you
the
go.
extradition.
Expedite the
Yeah.
extradition. Say it 10 times.
Expedite extradition. Expedite extradition. Expedite
man,
extradition.
look at
Expedite
you.
Yeah,
extradition.
you're pretty. Now say toy boats real fast. 10 times.
I can't do that one.
Toy boat.
You-
You get so far, and it's after about the fourth one, it's like I start screwing up.
Toy boat.
But anyways,
Do that.
in order for him to be extradited, it had to been done with the okay of the Philippines government. That meant, and because his predecessor was a Marcos, and his the one who followed him up, what do they call it? What's that? What's the opposite of predecessor?
Decedent?
Yeah, decedent. Yeah. Anyways, the guy that followed him was also a Marcos. To me, this is and
Well, and here's what they said. They said that they don't follow ICC, International Criminal Court, and they as a government policy, they don't back the ICC. However, the ICC did it through Interpol, and the Philippine government does support Interpol. So because they put it through Interpol,
yeah,
that was the government's say. Oh
That-
no, it's got. We're not changing our policies and going along with the ICC.
Right,
But Interpol picked up the phone from Scotland,
and yeah.
you know, and yeah, we need your man to turn him over.
Yeah.
And you don't want to argue with that accent, you know. So
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
It's it
I
like I
sounded
said,
Irish, but sorry, it's the
Yeah.
best I could do.
the top of the morning to you. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, they had to have an excuse, and that was it. I think.
Yeah.
Again, it was a Marcos thing. The Marcos
Mhm.
before, the Marcos after, they didn't like this guy. And of course, this guy's as I understand, Art, you said this guy's daughter was the vice president under the
Yep.
current Marcos.
There was
Yep.
a
They
period,
had a
there was
falling
a
out.
period they got along, and then they
Right, yeah.
split
Uh-huh.
up. They separated ways.
Yeah. He might have complained too much about Imelda's shoes or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
Mommy
part of
shoes.
why the reason they split apart is now because Marcos is more friendly to the U.S. and he was
Yeah.
he was passing uh, uh, executive orders to allow uh, us more access to more of their bases. You know, our military
Oh.
access to more of their bases and this and that.
Right.
So that's where they split apart. They don't trust. Apparently, the
Oh.
Marcos government doesn't trust the communist nations.
Oh.
You know, and don't forget Mindanao has always been anti-North, anti-U.S.,
Right.
anti-Christian.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. Neither one. No, Mindanao or any part of the Philippines should be pro those other governments because even if you're Muslim, I mean they don't allow any religions in the strictest communist sense. There's
Right.
no religion.
Right. Yeah. None whatsoever. Their religion is
Can you
atheism.
imagine there's no
Mm-hmm.
John Lennon, communist bastard. So anyway, that's that. So okay, good. We discussed it. I feel better now.
Well, I was glad to hear your wife's point of view too. That helped.
Jesus,
Yeah.
Jesus, kill them all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's great. Yeah. That's it. That's all I got.
That's it. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
So what else is on the horizon politically?
Oh, and you guys were talking about the stock market. It'll correct. It'll come back.
Yeah.
There's a sell-off. They're afraid because it's just such a so many radical changes in such a short period of time. But
Yeah.
there's already a lot evidence, all kinds of signs that the economy is already improving.
Well,
The
the-
jobs
the-
numbers are looking good. We gained 10,000 jobs in manufacturing, and there's more to come because of the investments going on by Apple and Taiwan's what's the chip?
Yeah, the chip manufacturer.
Right.
Yeah.
They're going to be putting what 100 million, 100 billion, I don't know, 100 million, something like that.
Lots of money.
Lots of
Lot-
lots of
billions,
money,
billions
yeah.
and billions of dollars because they're going to build plants here too. And
it's
you'll
going to be
see.
really, really good.
It'll all this doesn't fix overnight. People are nuts. The prices of eggs, yeah, this doesn't
Well,
fix overnight.
Which have
You
come
gotta be-
Which-
have come down quite a bit.
According
Yeah.
to yesterday's inflation report, the inflation rate has dropped and it's getting back down to it's heading towards a pre-Biden period
Well,
of
any drop
inflation.
would hit to the pre, even if it was nowhere near it, any drop would be getting closer to the pre. They
Yeah.
can say that. That just sounds like extra words.
And the price of eggs have come down.
Yeah.
And don't forget gasoline. Price of gas is
Price of
gone.
gas.
Gas is going down, and that's
Yeah.
just the beginning. They haven't even none of his energy policies have even taken effect. That's just based on speculation investments.
Speculation. Yeah.
So that's really all you need. You'll see. Give it time.
Mhm.
Oh
All
yeah.
these people that are jumping on the gun, a bandwagon, and jumping the gun, and what about the price of eggs? And look at the economy. I thought he was going to fix it. Blah blah blah. 3 and 4 and 5 weeks into his presidency,
Right.
It's not
they're
magic.
just going to look. They're come on. You're going to look.
He's
stupid.
done. He's actually put a lot of the groundwork for that with his executive orders. He's put the groundwork for it to when all of these finally start kicking in, it will be a stable, steady, improvement.
Don
Easter
said,
Bunny's put. Yeah,
egg
that's true.
prices are dropping because the Easter Bunny is putting pressure on the farmers.
Yeah.
You don't want to mess with that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's a,
Yep.
he's a wascally wabbit. He is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You don't want to mess with him. Yeah. No.
Then we got a lot of federal workers being fired.
People said hi to me. Hi, guys. Hi, Brian. Hi, whoever said hi.
Yeah. let's say hello
Joel
to
and
everybody.
Joel and
Joel,
Nicia, Jay Bird.
Don,
Wow.
From
Joey,
Uncle Tom.
Just-
Tom.
You getting a
Brian.
good turnout today for three conservative Gumps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
bad. Good. Hmm.
I'm still gimpy.
Yeah.
No, you don't hear about it.
Ah,
I got rid of the catheter came out, but I
okay.
have a bag though
No.
because I'm trying an external catheter.
Ah,
It's like a
I was
condom.
going to
wraps it.
suggest that.
Yeah. In the meantime, so I can sleep dry at night. At
uh-huh.
least.
Yeah.
It pops off though. It doesn't stay on.
Uh,
They don't
no.
work well.
There's a lot less left after they were done. Just to be clear. But no, like if you sit in a certain position for a longer period of time, then you get up, and then the pressure blows it off. So trying to.
Mm.
When I was in a wheelchair, that's the kind I had, and they were never. Back when I was handling one, they called them Texas catheters. I don't know why, but
Ah,
Huh.
what they were called, Texas catheters.
yeah,
Well,
get your
that's the
Texas
problem. Then it was
catheter.
probably too big.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. I don't know. I just know
Deep
they
down the
they were
heart.
not very effective.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the first one got me through most of the day, and actually, the one I took off, I pulled it off because I didn't like how it was on there. So really, the first one lasted a day.
Yeah.
I don't care. You know what? The real catheter leaked. I was wet or damp with diapers
Yeah.
since
Mm-hmm.
February 25th.
Wet bottoms. Bill's
So,
got them. Wet.
Yesterday, having a whole day with dry panties.
Oh boy. Mm-hmm.
You
Fresh as a daisy.
I mean, it's a pleasure. Even if it pops off here and there, there's long periods of time where, I still wear a diaper
Yeah.
over it, so it's just
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
minimize the risk of flooding the interior. I'm going back to work Monday, by the way.
Okay.
Are you? Okay.
Hopefully, I got to keep doing my Kegel exercises.
Good for you.
I should have stayed out for the whole month.
You never know what you're going to hear on Three Conservative Gimps.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
We discuss every part of American society and those and how it can affect us.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What?
What else have you got, Art?
Well, we got Doge. We got what else? Ceasefire in Ukraine. So they're working on that, and hopefully they could get that nailed down and finally get some peace breaking out around there.
Yeah,
And
I think Putin has put out his demands, and I don't know, or his requests, and Donald Trump said today that he felt that there was a good starting point, and they could, there were things there they could work with. So
good.
Of course. Even if none of it's any good, they're talking.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Nobody else did any talking to them to try to stop it. They just kept feeding the fire.
Yeah, they kept sending them.
Like
Yeah,
slow feeding a coal fire. Just keep it going.
yeah,
Keep it going.
just keep going. Yeah,
And keep burying the young men and women of those countries.
Right.
Just keep it going. Fucking
Mm-hmm.
sick bastard. You're a coward. What do you mean coward? How brave are you that you want to send money overseas so that other people can die?
Yeah.
And somehow you're a coward because you want it to stop. Fucking idiots.
well, again, I've said this war was all about the Ukraine getting blown to bits and hiding all the files over there that had anything to do with Hunter and the Biden family payoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I never heard 314 called Pi Day. That's interesting.
Oh,
It's very
yeah.
clever.
That's true. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Pi Day.
Pi Day. Yeah.
Not a new thing.
14.
Yeah.
Square root of pi. Yeah.
No.
And
No, not the square root.
no, that's right.
It's the expression of pi.
Yeah, eventually,
Yeah.
it's not nothing to do with healed up, Cool Cat. Apparently, see, we've got two sets of muscles that we retain our water with, and one of them is now gone because it goes with the prostate.
Ah,
The upper one, the one that did the major work. That's the one your body's used to using. The bottom
okay.
one is, I don't know, just backup. Anyway, so all I have is the bottom muscle. So that muscle has to
Ah,
do all the heavy lifting, so to speak.
mm-hmm.
So you got, yeah, eventually, it'll, all depends on the person. Got to do the exercise and strengthen that.
Mm-hmm.
So it gets to the point where uh, you're not,
Yeah.
you're not even thinking about it. It just holds,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
But right now, I got to think about it. And
Well,
then all it does is slow it down. So it's not really,
yeah.
it's not there yet.
Well,
But
it's developing those
yeah.
muscles just like a child has to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You big baby.
Wah.
Wah.
Hey, you before the surgery, you was housebroken. Now you're not. So,
Uh-huh.
but you can be housebroken again.
I know. My
Yeah.
wife bought a giant pea pad for me to sit on. It's like, honey, I'm not
Yeah.
leaking onto the. She's just.
Maybe she train you to use it. You know.
She bought a
Yeah.
plastic cover to put on my mattress. Stuff like that.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey,
We need a training montage. Yeah, we'll do a video of me doing my Kegel exercises and get to the sound of Eye of the Tiger. I can do it right now. Well, actually, I can do one or more of the exercises while we're sitting here talking.
There you go.
that's
In
what
fact,
that
right
smile is
now,
on his
I am
face.
clenching my pyloric sphincter. Whatever the pelvic floor, that's what they talk. You got to squeeze it and hold it
Squeeze it.
10 seconds and then let it go.
You know,
And
speaking of
squeeze it.
that, in the Agatha Christie Mysteries of Poirot, played by David Suchet, who did really fine job of it. He had this walk, and they asked, of course, Poirot is Belgium and has a French accent. David Suchet is British, but he does a great job of it.
Ross
But
Perot talks like
yeah,
this. What you talking
no,
about?
not Ross Perot,
Oh, okay.
Hercule Poirot,
Okay.
different Poirot.
Enemy, friends, and neighbors. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Please continue.
Yeah.
But anyways, David Suchet, they asked, how did he get that distinctive kind of waddle going that Perot had? He says, real simple. He says, I tightened my butthole as tight as I could get it and walk like that. And you try to do it. You try walking like that, and you're going to walk with a waddle because you can't.
Uh-huh.
So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's how he was able to imitate the walk of Perot, of Hercule Poirot, not Ross Perot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whatever happened to him?
Ross, he died.
Yeah, he died a few years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. He kind of disappeared into the,
Right.
I don't know.
Into the revenge sunset. All that was revenge against the Bush administration. Him running.
Yeah. Right.
He never wanted to actually be president. He just wanted to destroy, but he did. Thank you for giving us Bill Clinton. You. Bitch.
Yeah.
Ross Perot.
Well, yeah, we
Hey,
can
you see
actually
Buttigieg-
think.
They're talking like Buttigieg might be running in 28.
He died in 2019.
Okay. They're saying here.
Buttigieg did? Not yet. No.
No,
no.
there's a story
Ross
that
Perot.
he decided not to run for Senate, and they're saying that they think it's possible that he's gearing up and may do a presidential run. Pete Buttigieg.
Huh. Oh, he did. Bang
About
up
knowing
job.
you're not going to win. Yeah. Just throw somebody in there that is going to get destroyed.
It's going to be Kamala 2.0.
Oh, it'll be
Mhm.
worse.
Oh yeah, it'd be worse. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
He was never good at anything. He
It'd
did.
be Biden,
That's why I keep
Biden
hearing
and Kamala
what a-
2.0. Yeah.
I keep hearing what a
Mhm.
plausible candidate this guy is. I say, why? Why? They didn't even like him when he was mayor. When he was mayor of the town he was mayor of. He campaigned on fixing all the roads, and he didn't do it. And then he became the transportation secretary.
Yeah.
And didn't do it.
Yeah. Oh, how about what is it, the Palestine in Ohio, that where they had the train derailment in Palestine, Ohio.
Ohio.
What
Yeah.
about? Do you
Well,
think
Oh,
it's irony because it's Palestine?
talking about how the Earth did it, or yeah, you had some
No, they
really
blame deregulation on that. They blame Trump.
uh,
yeah, they blame Trump for that. Yeah.
Right. Even though he wasn't
and
in
why
office.
didn't they fix
Even,
it when they?
even though he wasn't in office when it happened. Yeah.
Well, because of most of that county voted for voted for Trump, and so that's why they didn't fix it.
Okay.
No, no.
Yeah,
Well, you know what? If deregulation was the problem, why didn't they put it back in beforehand?
yeah.
And why
There you
didn't
go.
and why didn't they put those regulations back in afterwards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're full of crap.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing to do with it.
Jagger, the ex-governor of
Pennsylvania.
Is
Who's
that
that?
Casey? Bob
Casey?
Casey? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's a big name.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that he couldn't win. I mean, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
He,
Or the governor of Kentucky?
he was. If you're talking about, okay, the one that just lost running for senator,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that guy.
Mhm.
Yeah. They right now they're just in such. The problem is
Oh no,
that
he ran for
even if they,
governor. He lost running for governor. That's what it was.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, you know what? I guess. But I mean, usually it's winners that they want to put in there, not losers.
Mhm.
So I don't know. How about somebody that won something?
Shapiro. Ooh.
Yeah, Shapiro. Oh, how about
Shapiro, you're right.
Jared Polis? Yep.
I forgot all about Shapiro.
Yep.
How about Fetterman?
Fetterman. Oh God, he's actually a pretty
He's
coherent.
again. If it's somebody who stood a chance that could win, it would
Mhm.
probably be him right now
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well,
because he would get the common sense independence. He could probably pull them in. You know,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
maybe because right now he's not really liked by the Democratic Party, but he's I think the independents, the libertarians, and actually some of the Republicans actually like him. The more
Mhm.
moderate Republicans like him.
Mhm. Yep.
So yeah, he could give our vice president Vance a run for his money. I think.
Mhm. Right.
I mean, but then again, JD
Whitmer?
Vance is no Dr. Oz.
No.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
No. What's his name from California? How about him?
Oh, Gavin Newsom. Yeah. There you go.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, the
He's
guy that
slick enough to be a threat, I think.
Yeah.
yeah, with his new podcast, he's this pseudo conservatism that he's showing on his podcast now.
Right. Right. No, he's clearly getting ready for a run
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
because he's talking like he's swinging towards the center.
yes,
And I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. All your career you were one way now. Why you must have learned he was going to correct his ways because his old ways didn't work.
yeah.
Try to be
After
somebody else.
he destroyed the state, state of
Yeah.
California,
Yep.
yeah. Now suddenly he realizes they didn't work and he's doing something different.
Mm-hmm.
Like a day
Harold
late and a
Ford.
dollar short.
Harold Ford.
Harold Ford.
Harold Ford.
I
Yeah.
might even vote for Harold Ford.
Yeah. Yeah. He's probably the most likable liberal on the five that I like.
Likeable, level-headed. I
Yeah.
can vote for people that I don't agree with all their policies. As long as I agree with the core
Uh-huh.
and I like
Yeah.
the candidate, I just might vote for them. I wouldn't vote for him against my party now. Well, I say
Right.
my party, I'm barely a Republican. I'm more libertarian. But I wouldn't vote for him against our governor here or against J.D. Vance.
No.
Who
Right.
all things considered, especially if things smooth out, interest rates level off,
Mm-hmm.
inflation levels off or drops, manufacturing starts making a comeback, job numbers are good. There's no Democrat I think that's going to win
No.
Right.
in 2028.
And that's when the Democrats will throw somebody under the bus. They'll put up a candidate. They'll put up Buttigieg, and this is the thing that would scare me though. Every time they put up one of these throwaway candidates,
Like Bill
because
Clinton.
yeah,
Like
Bill
Bill Clinton
Clinton,
was considered a throwaway
Joe
candidate.
Biden,
Nobody, governor of Arkansas, nobody knew who he was.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he was a throwaway candidate because there's no way he was going to beat Bush.
Jared Polis.
But then Perot took 30% of the vote, and boom, it happened.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
If it
and
wasn't for
that's
Perot, Bush would have won in a landslide.
oh yeah,
You
yeah, he would have
realize
won.
because
Yep.
people that were voting for Perot were not Clinton voters.
Yeah.
No. And
Mm-hmm.
I think what it was is people are tired of a two-party system. They wanted a three-party system, but it wasn't right.
Was
And
it
it's
13%?
still
Was it 13%? I don't know. It's quite a bit though. You got a lot of
it would have been enough that Bush would have won the election
a lot. Seriously.
by a lot. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
But Hunter Biden 2028.
Oh, that
All the
was the other
cokeheads would vote for him.
I was going to talk about is all the auto pen scandal with
That's right.
Joe Biden.
More and more presidential executive orders.
Yeah.
They're finding were signed with AutoPen.
Right.
What the hell? What is that?
Yeah.
Was he fired that day? Could he not hold a pen up that day? There's evidence that he didn't even know what was being signed.
Right.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, there was a bill. Oh God, who was it? Somebody had. Oh, I know. It was Johnson. He finally got to speak with Biden, and he said about this bill, and he said, "Why did you?"
About an executive order.
Oh, it wasn't.
That banned the export of liquid natural gas.
That's right.
Not liquid or LNP. Yeah.
LNP.
Whatever it was. I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
natural gas. Anyway, banned the export of that. And Biden said, I didn't do that. I didn't sign that. He said, yes, you did. And he actually got the copy out and showed it to him. And Biden was surprised that it was in there. Because apparently he thought it was having to do with research.
Mm-hmm.
Not researching the ability to pull it out of the ground. Not actually the stopping of exporting it so we can make money. You know, anyway, yeah. So that's one, but they're coming up with all kinds of executive orders. And
about the pardons too.
But who was doing it? Was it his chief of staff? Was it Kamala? Was it his wife?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I want to see is who was the puppeteer in this last
Jay,
this
but right now I can't hold my dick to piss, so I don't, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
There's a thing wrapped around it, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's gloved.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, I'm pissing now. So. Anyway, yeah, I'm not missing out on anything, That's a justice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there's the auto pen thing. I mean, we're finding out more stuff, and I bet you in a year or two we'll be like going, what the hell was going on?
Well, I would say that probably the four of us sitting right here were already saying what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
And most everybody's listening to us. Yeah.
Well, we're going to really find out what the hell is going on. I mean, we found out about the auto pen, and it's like, holy shit, I forget. because the auto pen's been around for over 100 years, and it's not a new thing, but to use it on executive orders and stuff,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's just. And then you got a president who doesn't remember signing shit. You know? Yeah.
I'm looking at. Did you see Don put a link in the chat?
Yeah. Training montage.
Well, it's a song actually. I clicked the
Uh,
link, and it's from Disco Nocturne 799, and low authentic rock, powerful 80s rock. And the verse starts out, he rises at dawn feeling hollow, a man rebuilt like no tomorrow, facing the truth with guts to show, clenching down low on the down low. It's called Clench of Steel.
Oh my God.
oh,
Oh
I'm gonna
shit!
have to go
Clench of
check that
Steel,
out after.
fighting with fire, push through the pain, climb even higher. This is the chorus. Muscles scream, but he won't let go. Clenching down low on the down low. All right. That's
yeah.
that's the perfect song from my
There you go.
training montage.
Mm-hmm. Reach my
Victory
side.
calls with siren song. His will unbroken. He's therapy bound. Hero rises from the undertow, clinching down low on the down low. Yeah.
2, 3.
Siren
Everybody count.
song.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Now, are you doing your chair exercises?
I just did.
Well, one of them
Well,
is where,
how do you say that immediately after I just did what I just did?
well,
I was
there's
sitting in a
more than
chair
one.
and I went 1, 2,
Yeah.
and then as soon as I finish, you go, "Are you doing your chair exercises?"
Well, you
My wife
That's
telling me
because
to put my dish in the sink as she washes me, as she's watching me walk my dish to the sink. What are you? Is that what you're becoming, Art?
Mm-hmm.
Put that in the sink.
we just want to make sure you're not virtual signaling on the show.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. It could be. My wife does that. She does do that. And you have women that do that to you. You're already on your way to doing something, and they tell you to do it. I don't know if it's a power play. I don't know what that is, but I've got a dirty dish, and I just finished eating, and I'm walking out of the living room with it towards the kitchen dining room area, and I feel like, no, honey, I was going to go out the back door here, and I was going to throw it in the yard.
Throw it out to the dogs.
Yeah, let the dogs lick it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, we got auto pen, we got tariffs, Duterte,
I thought
federal
you
employees laid off. What else? Oh, stock market going crazy. What else? Oh, we got baseball season right around the corner here. Wow.
You know how tariffs got out of control because of the lack of backbone of administrations running the country because they fear losing their power, losing their
Yeah.
position.
Yeah.
And what's happened is it's accumulated over the years.
Mm.
Can the United States economy afford, in these talks or whatever tariffs are going on, can they afford this? And then a period of time passes and we're fine. Okay, we can afford that. And then they get worse. Oh, okay. Well, the diplomacy we should talk about. But incrementally got worse and worse and worse. And it got to the point where Trump's looking at it as like, who would make this deal? Nobody would. Not even them. It happened little by little by little by little by little.
Mhm.
And,
right.
because no one had the backbone to do anything
Mhm.
about it.
And Trump has really nothing left to lose. I mean, as far as he's a lame duck president from the day
Right.
he was sworn in. He can do these policies. He can set up his vice president to hopefully fill his shoes, which he seems to be, keeping him included in a lot of this. So he's doing that. So yeah, he can do this and get by with it because he's still going to be rich when he's out of. He's still going to be a millionaire or billionaire when he gets out of office,
Mm-hmm.
So it's not hurting him one way or the other. He
Mhm.
didn't have to run to begin with.
You call J.D. Vance a yes man. Well, you don't need that yes man there with you. What do you mean yes man? He's his vice president. They're supposed
Yeah.
to be on the same page. They don't,
Mm.
it doesn't have to.
No, I mean,
It's not,
yeah.
why would you put somebody in? It's God forbid he goes in a hospital, something happens, or there's an emergency or whatever. Why would you put somebody in that wouldn't follow your policies?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it'd be idiotic, wouldn't it?
Right.
And as if Kamala Harris wasn't a yes girl.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
No, I
It's not,
think,
but she's not. That's not it. They're supposed to support the president. That's
Yeah.
their job.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think JD Vance is doing I mean, like he defended Trump against Zelensky. He jumped in the middle of that, and
Mm-hmm.
the fact that he is, he's Donald Trump has him doing things that keeps him active. A lot of times we have vice presidents that, oh yeah, he's over there. He's meeting the new ambassador to Zimbabwe. We sent him over
Mm-hmm.
there, and he comes back and says, I don't know what I was doing there, but hey, I got this
Yeah.
great souvenir.
Yeah.
They're sending Kamala to South America.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
Yeah.
to talk to the leaders.
right.
And
And they're laughing their
make
ass.
statements like, if you're thinking about coming, don't,
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
just don't.
Mm-hmm.
Does
yeah.
that work? Does that
So
work with kids or dogs or people? Just don't.
no,
Don't.
no, it don't.
Just
And
Mm-hmm.
don't.
I think that's why Vance is, and plus Vance is he's got a lot of he's a strong character. He's got a
Mm-hmm.
lot of he can stand up against this. I think
I tried,
uh
Jay Bird. One of SpaceX's rockets exploded. That's the
Yep.
second time this year.
yep.
Yep.
It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the
gonna
early
happen.
days of uh the Mercury program,
Right.
You don't even have to look
early
that
days.
early. They had all kinds of problems and tragedies. That's why they got out of the booster business.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
We're using Russian rockets. That's a shame. That's embarrassing.
yeah.
We should be thrilled that there's an entrepreneur doing this, or two.
Mm-hmm.
And doing a better
Uh,
job at it.
I like what Cool Cat says.
He doesn't have to be there. He's doing much more important work. Yeah, he doesn't have to do any of it, yet he does it at great cost to himself.
Yeah,
The U.S. has a trump card. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Because he's vulnerable. Because not say majority, but I'd say maybe majority of his customer base in Tesla lean left. People that
Mm-hmm.
want electric cars. All the left wanted them. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah,
a badge of honor running around with an electric car.
right, right.
Right.
And the fact that we led the world in it really because of Tesla
Mm-hmm.
at one
Yeah,
point. And it's still do. It's still, even though their sales are way down, the number one selling vehicle in the world last year was
Mm-hmm.
Tesla, by the way.
Oh, there's Nana's attic.
Yeah, that's Brad. Hey,
Brad,
Brad. Good to see
Hey,
you.
Brad.
haven't
Welcome
seen
to
him
the
in a
show.
while.
The last minute of the show.
But
Uh,
those same people now hate him because he's a MAGA and he's evil and he's trying to take over. Take over what? What is he taking over exactly?
he's
Right.
already, yeah. What is there? He's already the richest man in the world. So why?
Yeah.
And they were making a big deal about Trump was going to write a check and buy himself a Tesla, and they made a big deal about that. And then they showed uh, Biden driving around the White House, doing laps around the White House uh, in the Jeep Rubicon.
Oh.
That is
Mm-hmm.
owned by at the time was owned by a foreign company.
Mm-hmm.
Still is.
Yeah, still is. Yeah,
Stellantis.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Stellantis.
That's right.
It's just Fiat and Renault got together.
That's right. That's right.
It became, and now they're the biggest auto manufacturer in Europe, actually.
Yeah.
And
And so,
and then they bought Chrysler, Jeep,
right.
Ram.
Yep.
And so they have a complaint. The left is griping about Trump wanting to buy an American-made car. American manufactured. It was
No.
it was designed. Everything about it is American made, and yet, oh my
Not the
God, he's
batteries.
just not the batteries. That's true. Someday.
Yep.
I'm waiting for the little Mr. Fusion thing where you can put a can in there and
Yeah.
little mini fusion reactors like
Yes.
and it'll power your flex capacitor. I was trying to think what
Yeah.
that
Flux.
Flux.
flux capacitor. Yeah.
Flux. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on what part of Oklahoma you're from.
Yeah. Unless if you're not flexing, you're fluxing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, who gives a flux?
What do you get? The S or whatever, or the fast one. The Tesla
Yeah.
Trump boat goes 0 to 60 in 2 seconds.
Yeah, he got the red one. It doesn't matter whether it goes fast or not. He'll get stopped because they always stop red cars.
Mm-hmm.
They just naturally look fast.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to thank everybody in the chat for coming. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you learned something, especially about the Philippines. Thank you for coming, and you all have a great weekend. Don't forget my regular show, my drone and entertainment show, tomorrow night, and it's
Are we going to have
an
entertainment on
hour
that
early.
show this week?
Huh?
There'll be entertainment this time?
Yeah, we'll
Oh, okay. And
try to
drones?
squeeze some entertainment in that. Yeah, because we got Bill there. So
Who else is on tonight? Anybody?
No, I don't know who else was on tonight.
yeah. Oh, I forgot. Let's say a happy birthday to Steve Knowles. It's his birthday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Steve.
Happy
Happy
Kelly
birthday.
the other day, yesterday.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. That's the Filipino version of happy birthday. Good night, everybody.
Sound like
God
everybody
bless.
else's version.
Good night, folks.
Later, folks.
Bye.
Y'all take care.